It is a great honor to introduce Mohammad Fahili, a distinguished community leader and a person of vision dedicated to coexistence between Jews and Arabs in Israel. Born in 1948 in a village near the Syrian border, and he later relocated, or his family relocated to Akko. Mr. Fahili grew up in challenging circumstances. One of many, I think 8 children in the family. He left school at a young age to support his mother. While working in a kibbutz, he became involved with Hashomer HaTzair youth movement. Determined to continue his education, Mr. Fahili finished school and later studied engineering at the University of Houston. Upon returning to Israel in 1978, Mohammad Fahili settled in the mixed Jewish-Arab neighborhood in Akko. He dedicated himself to supporting local children and youth at risk. In 1990, he founded what is now the Sir Charles Claw Jewish-Arab Community Center, which has grown from a small initiative in a bomb shelter into a vital institution serving thousands each week with programs for all ages and backgrounds. His work has been formally recognized by the Knesset and supported by philanthropic foundations and individuals worldwide. Mohammad is a good and old friend of the LJS. He continues to serve as the center's director and remains a powerful voice for practical coexistence rooted in community, respect, and shared opportunity. And it is my great pleasure to welcome you in the traditional way. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai, berachnuchem mi beit Adonai. Blessed be you from the house, in the house of the Eternal One. From the house of God, may you be blessed.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I want to add, first of all, let's pray for the safety for the people who now in Israel, because everybody knows what's going now in Israel. And let's hope for the safety of all the people in Israel. I want to add a little bit about my story. You know, when I was in the kibbutz, they did a lot for me and for my family. They knew I'm a poor child. They gave me a lot of food every week to take to the family. Before that, we used to eat twice a year a meat, only in the holiday, for the Muslim holiday, where is the rich people sacrifice. Then they will give the food for the poor people. When I started working in 1970 in the kibbutz, they started giving me a lot of food, meat and fish and vegetables to take every Friday to my family. We became a normal family, more than a normal family. We had plenty of food. And my mother, she sold the extra food to the rich people in the market. With the extra money, she sent 2 of my sisters to study in the university. One University of Haifa to be a teacher, and one in the English hospital in Nazareth to be a midwife. I spent 4 years in the kibbutz. I returned back to school, and every Friday and Saturday and holidays, I went to school, to the kibbutz to work, and also I wanted to be with the youth in the kibbutz, the Shomer HaTzair. Because for me, as an Arab Muslim guy who was born in Akko, all the Jews who was in Akko, they were, Jews who came from Arab countries. The same mentality, they spoke Arabic. You cannot tell the difference between the Jews and the Arab in the old city. But for me, when I went to the kibbutz, it was the first time I met Jews who came from Europe. They don't speak Arabic. It's a different mentality. For me, it was fantastic, and I like it, and I wanted to be with the youth. And I spent 4 years with the youth, and also I wanted the food to come to my family, then we can eat well, then we can make extra money. When I finished my high school in 1974, I decided to go to study. It was difficult for an Arab guy to go to study in Israel. And I went to America to study, and in America, one more time, I was lucky, and I started working in a hotel, and I discovered the owner. After 2 weeks, he's a Jewish guy. His name was David. One Friday night, he came to the dinner, to make the service, the Kabbalat Shabbat, and, we prepared the table for him, and I asked the head waiter, he said, it's a Jewish guy, the owner. When he arrived, I saw with a kippah, with David star, and after he finished his dinner, and I went to the table, and I told him Shabbat Shalom in Hebrew. He said, Shabbat Shalom, do you speak Hebrew? I said, yes, where are you from? From Israel, from Akko. He said, oh, I love Akko, I've been in Akko. Shortly, I became the waiter of the family. After a few months, he asked me to teach his kids Hebrew. He said, come every Sunday to be with the kids. And he wanted to help me in a different way, And, I started going every Sunday to his house to be with the kids. Suddenly, I became the babysitter of the kids, Said, okay, this, my credit card, this is my car. Take the kids to the mall, to the swimming pool. Just be with them every day after 5 o'clock. Don't go to the hotel, just only in the weekend. And, I start making good money, and I saved money. And after a while, we had the Rosh Hashanah holiday for the Jews. He invited me to the house to have dinner with the family, and he said, my wife and me, we decide to help you, and we are going to give you a room in our hotel. You can stay in our hotel. And I used to pay $500 for apartment in Houston, Texas. And he said, this money, send it to your family to support the family. With this extra money for 4 years, I worked with David, and I stayed in his home. My mother, she sent two of my sisters to study in the university. And the next year, David decided to pay the whole cost of the university. And he paid for 3 years for me. And after 5 years, I decided to go back to Israel. And he made me a small party. The next day, he took me to the airport. In the airport, he gave me an envelope. It was $5,000 cash money in 1979. It was a lot of money. I said, David, it's a lot of money. Because I told him about my dream. I wanted to return back to Israel and to buy a house in the Volson neighborhood, which was the first new building outside Akko, the old city. It was built for new immigrants who came from Europe, Jews who came from Europe, educated people. For me, as a poor child, was a dream to buy apartment there. He said, the big apartment in Volson neighborhood cost $5,000. Take this money, go back, and buy apartment and start a new life. I returned back, I got married, I bought an apartment in the Volson neighborhood, and I told my wife, you know my story. In the kibbutz and David, they changed the whole family life. Not only my life, the whole family life. And I have to give back. I have to do, excuse me. I have to do something, And she said, what do you want to do? I said, I loved the club in the kibbutz. I'm going to make a small club in the neighborhood, bring Jews and Arab, and focus with the poor children, because I was a poor child. And, I went to the mayor. I asked permission to open the bomb shelters, to make it a club. He said, okay, and I made the club. And I started working with the kids, Jews, Arab, Muslim kids. I didn't care. I wanted to focus only for the poor kids, to help them as much I can. And one day we had visitors from London, the Clore Foundation. They came to the neighborhood, because our neighborhood is the most mixed neighborhood in Israel. Jews and Arabs live together, side by side, in the same building. We're talking about 2,500 people live in the neighborhood. It's very mixed neighborhood. And when she saw the kids in the bomb shelter, she asked me what I'm doing. I told her. She said, why? I told her my story. And she got excited, and she said, I want to help. I said, thank you. I said, I have a dream to build an independent Jewish Arab community center because I don't want any political issue. I don't want the municipality to involve and the government to involve. I want to focus only for the poor children. If you want to help, this is my belief, my dream. She said, okay. And we sent in an application, and they gave us money in 1993. We built the first floor on top of the bomb shelter. It was a neighborhood club. I ran it for 8 years, volunteers. I didn't get any money. Every day after work from 4 to 8 to be with the kids, and we brought many professional teachers. We start, raising money from the New Israel Foundation, from Abraham Foundation, from different places, And David in America, he supported us a lot in the beginning, And we're running very well. You can see, my focus is education. I care for education because if you want to succeed in your life, you need the education. Without education, you will be nothing. That's what I believe. And I focus on education. I saw it in my family. We are, 6 graduates from university, and we are doing very well now. And I wanted the kids and to encourage them to get in education and succeed in their life. And because it's mixed neighborhood, and I start working with Jews and Arab together. Many people from outside the neighborhood, they wanted to come, but there is no place for them. I spoke with the Clore Foundation. They gave us extra money. In 2000, we built another 2 floors, Then we opened 2000 the center for the whole people in Akko. Anyone he can come. And the main thing is, we focus, it's very high quality education with a cheap price for the kids because we raise money. Our budget is 75% of our budget it's come from London, from here. Every year I come to raise money, and thanks to God, they never fail me. Always they give. People, they've been more than 20 years give money. And every year I meet new people, they support us, and we're running a lot of programs between Jews and Arab. And I think now this time, it's the most important time to continue of our work. The government, they wanted to give money, and the municipality wanted to give money, but they wanted to control. Said, no, you are not going to control it. We are independent, and we will continue. We have Jewish and Arab board, and we decide what we want to do in our center, And we succeed a lot, and, I started 30 years ago now. The kids, they were kids. Their kids now are coming to the center back. And I can tell you, many Arabs and Jews kids, they ended in the universities and in the Technion in Israel, and they did very, very well because we encouraged them, and we supported all the program. We subsidized the program. Money, it's not the issue. If you don't have money, you will come and you learn in our center. We know how to deal with people. In each program, I can find 5, 6 kids for free to put them in the class. We pay for the teacher per hour. She said, I wanted 20 kids in the class. Okay, 15 registered. She will have her money, but no, I said, okay, let's bring another 5 poor kids and put them in the class. Then I have big class and the same price. And also I can help the kids, And this is the way we have 22 programs in the center. We are talking about 500 families take services in the center. And we have daycare for kids from 3 months to 3 years. We encourage the women to go to work. We don't accept kids, the mother sitting at home. No. We subsidize the program. We will help her as much we can, and we teach her Hebrew. Many of Arab women, they came from the villages to Akko, they don't speak Hebrew. In the village, they speak only in Arabic. We teach them Hebrew, then we can, we help them to find a job, then they can go to work, then we can take the child from 7 o'clock to 5 o'clock with the 3 meals, and everyone can afford it. And then she can go to work, and she can, help the family. After that, we start with a program. We have different program for Jews and Arab. We have separated program when the kids are young. because the language. But when they are like 12 and 10, we can mix the program. And through the program and through the education, we bring the family to be together. Like every month, we invite the families to be in the class for 1 hour with the kids and the teacher. And after that, we give like a cake and coffee and we discuss and we start talking. This is the way we bring the people to be together. And holidays, there is Jewish holidays and Muslim holidays and Christian holidays. We have parties in the holidays. We bring the whole families and the kids. And also, 3 times a year, we make big trips, to the zoo, to the parking. We bring the family, we bring food all together, and we go and we eat together and we spend 3 times a year. We're talking about 5, 6 buses, each time we go to trip. And the main thing is also, it's now the summer camp. Every year we have summer camp for 200 kids, Jews and Arab. And now, after I return back to Israel, it is the hardest month for me to decide which 200 I have to pick up. Because it's for free. We don't charge them money. We raise money for the summer camp. And each year, we choose the biggest kids in the family. Because each family, they have 3 or 4 kids in the family. We cannot take from one family 4 kids. We take the biggest one. The next year we take his brother. Then we take the other guy. And many kids, they wanted to come to the summer camp, but I cannot, take it. It's too much, and it's very, very expensive. And we give the high quality because, we have talking about 18 days. Only the first day they are in the center. The 17 days, they are outside because they are poor. They cannot go to swimming pools. They cannot go to the zoo. They cannot go to the, land of magic. It's very, very expensive. But we took them for 17 days out. They will love it, the kids, And also, they have breakfast and they have lunch also in the summer camp. And you can imagine, because it's free, many kids, they wanted to come. But, I can't. It's very difficult for me. I know the feeling because I was a poor child, I know the feeling, but and that's it, and thank you very much. And I have many things, but I don't have enough time. Thank you very much, really. Thank you.
Yes, such a powerful story, turning bomb shelter into a school and a shared society. And I hope that this will become true, not only for this one, but for many other bomb shelters in Israel. And this is a powerful story that gives us hope.